And for more on that story, let's cross over to our correspondent in Washington, D.C., Simon Marks. Simon, the Hong Kong bill passed unanimously in the House of Representatives, but do you expect it to go through the Senate quite as smoothly? And walk us through the impacts if successful.
Steve, not necessarily as smoothly as unanimous passage in the House of Representatives, but I think there is a widely held expectation here that the bill will indeed be passed by the upper house, by the Senate, and that's partly because of the support of prominent Republicans like Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, who fault the Trump administration for not having spoken out more strongly on behalf of the protesters in Hong Kong. President Trump himself has been very cautious about the things that he's had to say about events in Hong Kong, especially given that all this is happening at the time of a US-China trade war. And so Republicans in the Senate see this as an opportunity to redress the balance. In terms of what this bill will do, assuming President Trump signs it into law, it will heavily restrict and indeed in some cases ban crowd control and surveillance equipment manufactured in the United States from being deployed in Hong Kong by the authorities there. It is also going to make it harder for employees of Chinese state media companies to secure visas to live and work in the United States. The authorities here say that this bill will require them to look carefully at any visa applications they receive going forward, including any applications for visa renewals. So for some of those Chinese state media employees already on American soil, things could become a little bit tighter as a result of this legislation.
All right, Simon, switching focus now. The U.S., it doesn't have troops in Syria anymore, yet it wants to counter what Turkey is doing by sending State Secretary Mike Pompeo. Do you think he can really sway Turkish president or at least reach some compromise over Syria?
Well, not just Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, but President Trump has asked Vice President Mike Pence to lead that delegation to Turkey as Washington remains in the grip of behind-the-scenes chaos within the Trump administration following President Trump's decision 10 days ago to give President Recep Tayyip Erdogan the green light to invade northern Syria, a move that senior figures within the State Department and the Defense Department were not prepared for. And have scrambled to try and adjust policy making as a result of the situation on the ground sparked by that conversation between the two presidents. President Erdogan in Ankara recently has said that he will not meet with Vice President Mike Pence. He says he will only meet and discuss the situation on the ground in northern Syria with his opposite number, President Donald Trump. And he says that if Mike Pence and Mike Pompeo arrive in Turkey, they will be meeting with lower-level officials than him. That's quite a shot across the bows of Vice President Mike Pence's delegation. They haven't left Washington yet, but we are told here that the State Department and the Vice President's office still believe that the trip is on.
All right, thanks for that. Simon Marks speaking to us from Washington.